Fellow Toastmasters, an honored guest, how many of you have ever heard of going the extra mile? Raise your hand. How many of you try to make this a practice in your everyday life? That's phenomenal. And the reason why I talk to you guys today about going the extra mile is that I find it as being one of the instrumental principles of success. Now, don't take it from me, because I once read a book, probably about 5 years ago, called The Master Keys to Riches. Anybody ever heard of this book? Read it? No? Napoleon Hill? Phenomenal author on success. And one of the keys to riches he talks about is going the extra mile. For those of you who don't know, going the extra mile is rendering more service or better service than one is actually paid for. And I thought about that concept for quite some time. Why would somebody provide more service or better service than one's paid for? All I knew at the time of reading this book was I'd walk in 30 seconds to 9 o'clock when my job started, and at 5 o'clock I was the first one at the swipe card, with my swipe card at the machine ready to swipe out. I was willing to do what was required, and that was it. Never was I willing to put in that extra effort. And I remember when I read this book and I said, you know, what would happen if I started putting in some more effort, providing better service to my clients? And at that time I was working for a business gift company out in Scarborough, and I was working on commission. And I said, you know what, lunch, if I've got something more important, I'll work through lunch. If I had something I needed to take care of, I wouldn't take my break. And I saw my income almost double. And I said to myself, wow, this is phenomenal. This thing actually works. And I actually was speaking with an individual the other day from my part-time job, which is at Good Life. One of the personal trainers there, his name is Randy, was telling me a story. And woven within that story was a principle that we're talking about today, going the extra mile. Randy works for the TTC as a bus driver and part-time at Good Life. He's absolutely sick and tired of working with the TTC. Now, who would be sick and tired of working for the TTC? I mean, you got a nice job, good benefits, you know, he's got a comfy schedule, he works like 6 hours a day and gets paid for 8. I mean, that's a good deal if you ask me. But Randy is sick and tired of having to deal with the people who come up in his face and pull a gun. Or the people who punch him in the face because they just don't like him. Or the people who kick at his bus because he's got a schedule to meet and they're trying to run and catch the bus. So he's sick and tired of being sick and tired, and he's looking to make a change. And Randy has this young man as one of his clients now who's a cocaine addict. And this gentleman has had a rough life. His father ended up shooting himself right in front of his son. And he had to witness that. Imagine witnessing your father murdering himself in front of you. He was devastated. The only thing he could turn to was drugs and alcohol. He didn't see any other way out. And he went through rehab. He was trying to keep himself clean. And he started coming out to the gym because it was a way for him to exert some of that energy and to keep his mind off of the situation. He started working with Randy part-time. Randy would come up into the gym and say, hey man, you're doing this wrong. Let me show you how to work it. And he'd appreciate that and started inquiring about how much personal training would cost. What was the cost to it? And Randy said, here's what the cost would be. And he said, man, that's expensive. I don't know if I can do it. And he did whatever he could do. He scrounged the money up and he said, you know what, Randy, I really need your help. This is going to help me make a change in my life. Here's the situations. Here's where I'm coming from. Here's the situation with my father. I'm a cocaine addict. I'm trying to recover, but it's hard. This is the only outlet I have. And Randy said, hey man, here's my cell phone number. If you ever find yourself needing to relapse, give me a call. I'll be there for you. And it was funny because one morning at 2 a.m., Randy's lying in bed sleeping. He's got to be up 4 o'clock in the morning for his job at the TTC, and the phone rings. Randy, it's me. Who? And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to mention who it is. It's me. I'm on my way to buy some cocaine. Randy said, stop. Meet me at the gym. I'll see you there. And he hangs up the phone. Didn't know if the guy was going to come, gets out of bed. His wife's like, Randy, where are you going? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Randy says, I told this kid I was going to help him, and I'm going to be there for him. Randy shows up to the gym. The kid meets him there. Didn't think the kid was going to come. And he says, what's happened? He goes, you know what? I'm having a tough time, Randy. Randy's like, let's go work out. He's like, I don't have my workout clothes. Randy said, who needs workout clothes? Let's just go burn some energy. Worked out for half an hour. The kid goes home and sleeps. Mother calls Randy the next morning. I don't know who you are or what you've done, but you saved my son from relapsing to cocaine. Thank you. You know how Randy felt? On top of the world. You know what Randy did? He was willing to provide more service than what he was paid for and better service than what he was paid for. That's going the extra mile. I encourage each one of you to take that. Take Randy's example and somehow go out there and go the extra mile, and who knows whose life you're going to change.